Welcome back to the Formula One McLaren driver career. We've just had Miami in real life, and now it's time to go and race there on the game as well. We got another double point scoring finish in the last Grand Prix, and in terms of the standings, myself and Lando are both best of the rest. And our team is best of the rest as well in fourth, and hoping that with continued development, which is ongoing, as you can see here, a number of things on the way, and with progress history as we approach the race at Miami, hopefully we can get a decent result here as well. It's not a track that I'm that familiar with. Obviously, it's only been on the game this year, and we just had the second running there in real life. Mixed conditions as well. A dry quali. Oh, but a dry to wet to dry race. That will be challenging, to say the least. With regards to the R&D progress, we have had a tick up, but Alpine have made a massive jump here on the way to Miami, so they now are significantly better than us, and we are significantly better than Alfa Romeo, but hopefully on track we can actually do something against Alpine when these developments come in on the way to the next race, which is when they should arrive. We should be much more competitive. Oh, bugger! Okay, this is going to be intriguing then. This is going to be exciting for strategy, and anything can happen in a Grand Prix with mixed conditions, and quite normally with Formula One, anything will. Thank you, Murray Walker. Right, drop the video a like if you're enjoying this save, of course. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on more of this or F123 content that is very soon to arrive. And we'll go to practice. So with practice over, Lando's actually done a worldie there. 675 resource points from him on this occasion. Only got 375 from him at the last Grand Prix. Driver claim going up a little bit. The quali pace was not great, but with the race being what it will be, and the fact that I think if I manage my ERS well enough, we should be pretty competitive. It's obviously just not a track that suits me or the car, I don't think. Lando might be competitive. I don't think I will be at all. But do I throw anything onto the car now? I don't know if there's much I can actually do yet, is there? I could do the fuel efficiency. That would actually help. We could not do anything there. I could do the rear downforce there, but I'm waiting for maybe a bit more of a discount. And once that's finished, I'm going to throw some durability stuff into both the turbo and the ICE. So I'll wait for that, and then we'll do that next. But actually next is qualifying. And Q1 is a P8. Alright, I feel suitably competitive enough. I certainly wasn't the fastest I could go on that lap. They might have a 10th or 2 in it, which would put me around Lewis, actually. Okay, I'm happy. We go again. 129 something. That is P... Ooh! P3 in Q2. Well, where has that lap come from? I don't know whether that was me being super quick or... Actually, I think that might just be me being quite quick. 29.3, less than a 10th of provisional pole. Well, do that again in Q3, please, Ches.
Okay, you've dropped to P10. Let's go again. We can do better.
Max is a 28.6. 28.6. I can't get anywhere near that. The 29.1 though is my best lap of the weekend, and it puts me P4 on the grid. A stellar qualifying here in Miami with rain on the way for race day. Who knows what's going to happen, but that is really good from us. Obviously, as you can see, nowhere near Max Verstappen. He's half a second down the road still from my best lap of the entire weekend. But we'll take a P4. I don't expect to finish anywhere near P4, especially with wet conditions on the way. But again, at McLaren, in the early stages of this season, any points are still good points. Anything above P9 is respectable. I wonder if there's any grid penalties in there. Max was just a class above. Checo isn't now. I swear Checo was P2, so we might be starting P3, and indeed we are. the forward position on the second row. Now, how big was Perez's penalty? Presumably 10 places. So he'll start. Yep, there you go. He starts P11. There must have been another penalty in there as well because he's actually slightly further forward. I would have expected him to be starting 12th thanks to that penalty. But is there another penalty in there? Ocon took a penalty. Ocon took a penalty as well. So Perez, who took his penalty first, goes up a position and will start P11. We, however, thanks to Perez's penalty, will be starting P3. Now, this strategy will go out the window, really, because the rain is supposed to come at some point. I imagine everyone else, the majority of other people, starting on mediums, indeed they are. We would probably be better off starting on mediums and going until the rain than starting on softs and risking potentially not making it as far as the rain. So I would probably go medium and then on to softs from there. So we'll start medium and then we'll go medium soft. So let me edit this strategy and we'll change that to soft and then medium again at the end, because I don't envisage us actually getting that far down the line before the rain starts. So 20 odd laps or 21 laps on mediums, followed by 13 laps on softs, which won't happen because the rain will come, but we'll go with that one and hopefully we could do well. Because rain's coming, we'll take a bit of fuel out of the car as well. I'll actually run slap bang on 57 laps and hopefully we can recover enough fuel through the wet periods to cover us for the dry. That's the plan. Let's see if it actually works. Starting in P3, by the way. And that's with the difficulty higher than it was in Bahrain. We've done this on merit.
Radar suggests some weather's going to hit in around 5 minutes' time, so stay on your toes.
5 minutes. The rain is coming in just 5 minutes. Well, that's the inaccuracy of the weather forecast for you, because it looked like it wasn't going to come until about 20% through the race. I didn't think we were going to get any rain, or at least no wet running, until about the 10th lap, 12th lap, and I don't think the softs would have lasted long enough to then go through that damp period before then being in a position where it's too wet for dry tyres. So maybe those on the softs have actually made the right call, and by being conservative on the mediums, we haven't. I don't know. We'll find out in due course, obviously. Lewis Hamilton behind us. If the rain does come early and he can get in front of the three of us in front of him on those soft tyres, he's in a great position for this race. Right, here we go then. Coming onto the grid. In a great spot.
Okay, incredible parking there.
I was going to say, the best we've parked.
The edge if you can get good launch as the race starts.
The best we've parked so far.
Okay, so that's the rest of the grid
Forming up behind us.
Patient and watch for those
Ready,
lights.
and we are about to go. Hoping the rain doesn't come for as long as possible, but it sounds like it might be coming relatively soon. Build the revs. Oh, they're lasting forever. And we are away. Not a bad start at all. Max has gone defensive into turn one. Here comes Lewis up the inside. I'm going to just hang it out wide and be a little bit cautious. I'm expecting Lewis to go through anyway on those soft tyres. Oh, got a knock from behind. Charles Leclerc. Not Charles Leclerc. Carlos Sainz has entirely lost his front wing there. I don't know whose fault that was. I'll have a look back at the replay in a moment. Is that me or is that Carlos? He's just gone straight into the back of me there. I think he's just understeered into me. I've not necessarily pinched there. I'm just minding my own business out there. And Carlos is drifting left, as you can see. If you look at him compared to the curb, Carlos drifts left and just runs straight into the back of me. That is Carlos Sainz's fault. And Carlos Sainz is well and truly out of the reckoning for this Grand Prix then. So he'll be so far behind, and then it will start raining and he'll have to pit again. And we might try and take advantage of him being super slow at the minute, if we can, to get a little bit further down the line. Lando on soft tyres is up to 7th.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move
They are
forward.
quick in a straight line, though, the AI here, the other drivers. But Hamilton up to P3. We're down to P5. P5 would still be our best result of the season so far. It's Lando Norris, my teammate, hitting me there into that right-hander. I hope he hasn't done himself any front wing damage. It doesn't look like it from my rear view mirror. But dearie me, it has been a chaotic start here. But stay ahead we will be able to do. Lando might gain and go for it, but it's not close enough. Well, I've gone deep. Not going to help me. And then I've got a bit of wheel spin, but with held position. Science will pit now then. Right, now I need to have a good start to this second lap. No surprises that those in front have just disappeared down the road. We fully expected that in race conditions. Now I've got to try and keep Lando at bay. Oh, but do I let Lando go down the road? I don't know as I'm going to have much choice. I think Lando is just going to help himself to go down the road, I think. No DRS yet, of course, but not really much I can do here. It's his top speed. It'd be nice if he didn't drive into me though, Lando. Now, if I can cling to the back of Lando, we've got a yellow flag somewhere. Not sure what for, or through who. It's towards the back. I think it's just coming togethers, maybe, on the way through. Sergio Perez is out of the race. The Red Bull retires, but why? He was starting further back, of course, from a penalty, and his engine's gone already on lap 2 alone. Sergio Perez in the Red Bull retiring. Is that going to be a safety car, with this being a street track? Seemingly no safety car yet. Fernando is right on my back bottom here. Trying to use the slipstream of Lando to stay ahead of him. I'm going to go slightly defensive. That's not going to stop Fernando having a look. Not only is he going to have a look, he might have me here. No, we've held him off. I'm over a second behind Lando though, which isn't great. I need to get back behind him if I can. DRS enabled. Fernando's getting brave again. Going down the inside, but he's not going to make that stick. Oh. I'm all over the place with the weight of this car. It feels so much different here than it did at any of the previous tracks under heavy fuel. I didn't really notice it that much in Bahrain, Australia, or Imola, but here, holy moly, this car is a boat with heavy fuel. Fernando Alonso's coming. Fernando Alonso is going to get me. I could try and go deep on the brakes. He's turned into me, Fernando. It's not the best of ideas, mate. I've held on to position there, but Fernando is definitely turned in on me. I was alongside. I deserved some room. Absolutely deserved some room here. I mean, what is... There's no way Fernando doesn't see me there, surely. If we have a look on board from him, look in his... To be fair, looking in his mirror, he can see me there. And if he glances in his mirror there, I'm there. And then he glances in his mirror again on the way in. You can see I'm not there, so there's only one place I can be, which is to his left. And there I am at the last minute. And he makes no attempt to correct. He just continues to turn into me and then overcommits to the turn. Fair enough, Fernando. That's your decision, mate. I hope for your sake you haven't done your car any damage, but I hope for my sake you have. Here he comes again. He's on soft tyres, to be fair. There is a bit of a gap back to Gasly in P9. Held him off there, though, again. So all the while costing me time to those in front, though. But if the rain doesn't come that quickly, then I'm hoping the soft runners will have to pit. The soft tyres will probably do about 15 laps, maybe slightly less. But they said 5 minutes time and a minute and a half a lap. We are on lap 4, so we've done at least 9, if not 10 minutes, and still no rain. It's not even that overcast. But our lack of straight line speed is hurting us now. I think the rain might be here. And those that went on the soft tyres might have made the right gamble. Yep, there you go. There is the rain. At the beginning of lap 6, the rain has arrived, and going for the medium tyres has not worked out for us. Unless it only drizzles for a little while and the rain doesn't get that heavy that quickly, but
Okay, be mindful of
funny
the
feeling it
conditions.
will.
The track's getting wetter. Recommend you stay out for now, though. We'll be much slower if we move on to inters this early.
Wheel spinning fourth. But we're alright for now. Lando isn't dragging me towards Lando, though. Alonso's not taking me towards Norris, as I hoped he would. Gap to Norris is still growing. Continually, it's not into weather yet, though. It's getting slippy underfoot, so to speak. But it is not into weather yet. DRS disabled. It might be into weather very soon, though.
Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS.
And that's
DRS
not
is
great
now
for me,
disabled.
because it just means Fernando can now pull away again. Now I'm going to have to back off a little bit, because Lando is currently only 4.5 seconds in front of me, and the double stack is probably going to need about 8 seconds, which is only going to cost me time to other teams. But there's no way I don't pit this lap. It's going to be far quicker to double stack than it is to do another lap on dry tyres and come in the lap after.
Situation's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to
We're
stick with what we've got
absolutely going to continue on these tyres. Sorry, absolutely going to pit. See how wet it's getting now. Lando is in as well, so I'm going to come in slowly.
Stop now.
Hopefully Lando is going to be out of the box before I get there. Which he's not. But it's not that bad.
Perfect job
It's
on the
not
turn
that
there,
bad.
mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
We made the double stack work quite well. We're not going to lose any positions from it, I don't think.
Alright, we'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in this strategy.
As it stands, then we're P9, but some cars did go through on dry tyres to try and complete another lap, as they didn't want to double stack, and they are going to be slow AF. Now, judging by what the weather forecast said, we might end up with full wet tyres in the not too distant future. So we're still currently running like a net 7th, was it, or 8th? Can't remember exactly where we were. Net 7th, I think, maybe 6th. As a couple of cars continue, a Haas and a Williams. Latifi now down to P8. Can't do anything about the straight line speed of Latifi or Zhou, but Latifi is going to be slow in the braking zone, so I could probably still throw it up the inside of him. Try and stick with Zhou Guan Yu. Mick Schumacher's going to pit in front of us. Not quite able to get past Zhou in the slow and twisty stuff. I just can't stick near him well enough down the straights to get him into a braking zone. Unless, because I've had a decent run there, I just use all of my battery up trying to get in front of him. I don't know if that's going to work. We're going for a late lunge. And
Brilliant, nice move.
it's done. We got very close to the wall on the right there, though, but I'm going to try and hold the inside line. No, you don't, Zhou. No, you don't, pal. I want P8, thank you. Sorry, P7. I need to just pull away from him as best I can through this section and hope that Gasly fills his mirrors and distracts him. Start to become apparent, though, we are definitely faster than Zhou Guan Yu behind, but not as fast as Alonso in front. Is he going to say wets? Yep, he wants to go to wets. I don't know. Is it really raining hard enough to go to wets at the minute? I don't feel like I'm struggling for grip. Maybe I will in a lap's time, who knows? I don't know, as I feel like I'm losing that much time at the minute. Are the wets that much faster? Let's stay out on the inters for one more lap just to see what it's like.
Check your MFD for a new
Oh, I was just about to say, I think I will. Okay, here we go. Pitting again then for full wet tyres as we expected we might have to. I was maybe hoping the Inters might be alright. I'm not going to get the opportunity to stay out on them, unfortunately. Mick Schumacher has stayed out on the Inters an extra lap, just like he did the changeover before, and that might have cost Joe and Gasly enough time. I get out in front of them here, and I didn't actually lose too much in the round of pit stops. If anything, I've actually gained on the two behind me by staying out the extra lap and them getting stuck behind Mick Schumacher. So again, we are P7, and we are, as we are right now, for the foreseeable future, I don't think we're going to catch Alonso, and I don't think Zhou and Gasly behind are going to catch me. So we lap now, try and put in the lap times, and then wait to go back to Inters. Maybe try and judge that call slightly, and potentially we could make a bit of time there. And then once we're onto softs at the end of the race, we should be quite quick. We obviously qualified well on softs, and especially when DRS is enabled, that will put us in a great position to hopefully try and get past a driver or two. Lando is still holding on to P4 ahead of George Russell. Very well indeed. I was just about to say, the track looks like it's got less water on it and the rain looks like it's eased off a bit. It would be a big call to go to Inters now, but maybe lap 27?
Looks like it's going to be getting much lighter over the next 10 to 15 minutes. There should be more grip, but don't expect a dry track yet. Inters and wets will probably have very similar pace at the moment. And the gap behind us is 13.7 seconds.
Okay, big call, chat. Do we pit for Inters now? Do we pit early for Inters? Are we the first to make the call to turn? Let's do it.
Okay,
let's take the risk. We are going to switch to Inters now, in the hope that it's the right call. It might be a lap or two too soon. It might be just right. Now we'll find out. I didn't want to change my wing.
Fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
Everyone will be looking at our lap times, trying to figure out if we made the right decision or not. And if it is time to come in for Inters. He wants me to go back to wets. No, I don't want to go back to wets. I feel like I've got more grip than I did on the wets. I feel like I've got a lot more grip. Now the next question is, do we change our front wing when we stop for dry tyres, yes or no? I only feel we'd be coming out of the pits and not having enough front end. Yeah, George is in the pits. George has gone to Inters. The others are changing. George has made the call. There are now other cars on Inters, but it's only George at the minute, I think. Let's pit. He's the only one I've noticed in the pit lane anyway. Through these twisty bits, we are just so much faster than P. I'm going to get him here at the inside. He's just so much slower. P7 back again, and he has to pit again. Yeah, look, everyone else is changing over now. Look at the pit lane on the minimap, bottom left. Everybody's starting to pit for intermediates. It didn't actually earn us that much time against Fernando, a second and a half or so, switching to the Inters from the wets, but I don't know whether that's because I got stuck behind Gasly a bit or what. So Alonso 4.5, so we... 5.5? 4.5. We've earned a little bit by making that call earlier. We've earned about 3 seconds-ish on Fernando, which is great, but it's still not quite close enough to...
Teams in the pits changing over to full wets. Come in and change your tyres if you need to.
It's still not quite close enough to be able to have a go.
7 seconds.
And when the rain dries up, I think we're going to be mediums to the end. Lando down to 5th now. Right, he's still right behind George, but George, by pitting a lap earlier, has undercut Lando Norris. So it's great work from Mercedes. If the rain hasn't dried up by lap, I mean, it's going to dry up. It's going to dry up before there's the opportunity to go on softs, isn't it? Let's be honest. Zhou has now lost the position behind to Gasly.
So we're looking at another 5, maybe 10 minutes of this rain. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
We would have to still be on a wet track all the way to lap 43 or 4 for me to consider putting the soft tyre on at the end. I've set repair front wing damage to yes. We have almost a full pit stop behind us, and everybody is going to have to pit again to go to dry tyres, so it makes sense. We might as well take the opportunity to change the front wing if it's not going to cost us track position. We're definitely not near, nowhere near dry running yet though. It's still raining and the track is still wet. It's definitely inter weather. We called that superb. That might be one of the best calls to go from wets to inters we've made. Don't know maybe whether my inters being more worn are actually better in these drying conditions than theirs. Now I can't remember where it was. Was it Turkey? Where everybody's everybody's intermediate tyres got so worn they effectively were slicks. That might be something similar to what's happening to me here, compared to everyone else by about 4 laps or so.
There's a new strategy available on the MFD.
There you go, it's going to be now, isn't it? Softs. Softs to the end? Will they last?
Okay, copy that.
Will softs last to the end? I don't think they will. I'm going to put mediums on. I've got mediums as my next set. So we're going to stop now. We're going to put mediums on. The team just asked me to go to softs. But with 15 laps to go, they won't last. They just quite simply won't last. Need a big stop, lads. Thank you.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Those behind are stopping as well. We are the first again to change tyre compound. See, Ocon's gone mediums and Gasly's gone soft. So even other teams don't know what's the best to do. DRS enabled though, which is the official it's definitely time to change to dry tyre sign. What are we going to, boys? Mediums for Lando.
Coming in for his stop now.
And Fernando is going to mediums as well. I don't think the softs last. I just don't see it. We'll keep an eye on Gasly, the gap to Gasly, although he's right behind Ocon at the minute.
Lando's in the pits.
Fernando coming out of the pits now.
The car ahead is 19.7 seconds.
So we didn't really gain anything from stopping a lap earlier. Unless Fernando's tyres take ages to warm up, but I don't think they will.
Behind is 25.9 seconds.
Purple sector 1 though from us, which is only a good thing. Still going to be super slow in a straight line though. Yeah, 3 more laps of inters though, and everyone would have gone softs. Can we close Fernando or not?
Coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead now running medium tyres.
A 5.7 for the team would be phenomenal. I don't know why that would be, as we set the fastest lap of the race of 1:32.9, but fully expecting that to not last. There are plenty of soft runners out there at the minute that will eat that time for breakfast, as Pierre Gasly does by about half a second.
Gasly's just set the fastest lap of the race so far.
We're not fast enough to catch in front, I don't think, and we're definitely not going to get caught from behind. So what I might do, 31.3 from Max, if I have a pit stop in hand behind, which I think I might, we can stop on like lap 54 or something and go for the fastest lap. Purple sector 2 though, I do have a new set of softs I can go to, and he reckons I will come out 7th if I pit. So if we can't catch Fernando, 2 seconds to Fernando, can we do it? I need to either do it or not do it in enough time to allow me to go for the fastest lap and pit again for softs if we don't. Well, Latifi's fighting hard with Fernando here for no reason whatsoever. And helping me close the gap. 1.2 now to Fernando. We're nearly within DRS range.
Well done, but be aware
Thank you, Nicholas.
these tyres need to get us to the end of this race.
I think I might have DRS, you know. We do have DRS. We're within DRS range of Fernando Alonso. 6 laps to go, including the one we're on. It might be a case of saving battery as long as I possibly can. And then spending it all on the same lap. He's so slow around this final turn, Fernando. Oh God, so am I if I do that. We're going for it.
You've lost some time to the car behind.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it. We've got it done. That's P6 with 2 laps and a bit to go. Question now is, can I keep him behind me? That part of the track was my best bet because I know I'm faster through that section. So I have to open the gap there so that then he can't catch me on this straight. We have wound Fernando in over the course of about 30 laps. And provided I can keep my nerve, it will be a 5 and 6 for the team. And to maintain the gap so that Fernando can't catch me. And if you look at the delta, compared to Fernando, we're having a decent sector 1. And he is out of DRS range, which is the most crucial thing for me. He will close by about
4 laps of fuel remaining.
5 or 6 tenths down the straight.
11.5 seconds.
Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:31 flat. But we're far enough ahead of Fernando. That will be a P5 and 6 for McLaren, barring any really, really, really late retirements. I think Lewis has just disappeared in front. We said him starting on the softs at the beginning, when he was in P4 and we were in P3, might be genius from Mercedes. Actually, I think Max might be in P1. He is indeed. He's just won the race. Max Verstappen, victorious in Miami. Lewis will come home to finish second, then George Russell 4th. And considering Carlos Sainz's shit show, it will be Charles Leclerc on the podium in 3rd. We've worked particularly hard for this. And when we were sat behind Zhou Guanyu in the rain, you never thought on your life that we would be able to finish in P6 ahead of both of the Alpines. Fernando was so far in front of us. But on the dry tyres, we've been able to drag him back, haul ourselves past him, and then keep him there. One of the best stints we've driven for a while. A solid performance for the team as well, with Lando in P5, which is, I think, his best performance of the season so far. And this McLaren is getting better and better and better. And given that Alpine had an upgrade to come here to Miami, that's a real sign of our capability as drivers, Lando and myself, to be able to still finish ahead of the Alpines, with more updates to come for ourselves between now and the next Grand Prix. My fastest lap was 1:31.65. Sorry, Lando's was 1:31.655. Mine are 31.606. Still a long way though off Max's fastest lap, and Lewis got the fastest lap of the race on the final lap. Keeps me 7th though, and I close in on Carlos Sainz, only 9 points behind the Ferrari now. And we're pulling well away. We've got exactly twice as many points as Alpine after 4 Grand Prix. Which is bloody lovely, that. We're going to extend our rivalry advantage over Esteban Ocon as well. And this is going very much according to plan for us so far here at McLaren. If things fall right for us, with the occasional weather or retirement, we might find ourselves maybe having the opportunity for a podium later in the season. New parts are completed and passed, which is great. Durability is done, so I can now do ICE upgrades. Can now do turbo upgrades. Can't do anything else there. Can't do anything else there. So we can do something on the aero, and we can do something on the chassis as well. 900 for that. If this is 500, oof. That is a lot for the weight reduction. A hell of a lot. I can afford it. But I'd be more inclined to go with the aero. What is the recommended? It recommends the weight reduction. Actually, look. You guys can't quite see this, but the jump in the performance index from the aero upgrade is actually significantly more than the... sorry, for the chassis upgrade is significantly more than the aero. And apparently we've got a season break coming up here before the Azerbaijan Grand Prix on the 9th of June. I know we've got a shortened season, but that's still very, very early to have a season break. Everything passed as well, which is phenomenal. And we've got 1,100 resource points, so we can afford to do something else as well. Whether that be... Oh, the rear, which we now have a discount on. Can't do anything on chassis. Could do powertrain on ERS or fuel efficiency. ERS would probably be handy. So would the durability. What is the durability? The MGU-H is the one that is getting worn quite a bit. I might do the MGU-H durability here. Just because that's what's wearing out on us quicker than anything else. But we still have the opportunity to advance towards Azerbaijan between now and the Grand Prix. And we should get ourselves some more resource points and the opportunity to upgrade yet again. Obviously, though, every other team is going to be upgrading at the same time as us. Maybe not the same pace as us, but certainly the same time as us. Sure, why not? We'll do an interview. That's us advancing for. That could be an interview with Will. Team progress. I'm gonna say drivers. Plus 500 driver acclaim. We'll take it. Biggest passion. I'm gonna say cars. I don't know if I'm gonna get a boost from that. Oh, driver acclaim as well. I'll just get driver acclaim. Then I was hoping maybe I might get some resource points from one of those answers. We do not, sadly. But as we approach the race in Baku, we do have enough resource points to maybe do something else. Could maybe do the rear. Tyre wear is going to be important for us. I'm going to go for tyre wear because I am hard on my tyres. So we don't have enough resource points left to do anything else at this stage, but that's fine. Quite happy with that. We are still actually behind Alpine in the progress history as we take a jump as well. Alpine have equally improved. Those in front, though, are slowing down a little bit. So we'll wait and see what that performance index looks like once we actually get to Baku. But the Azerbaijan Grand Prix will be the next one that you see here on the ChesnoidPlays YouTube channel. Thank you for your support on this one, of course. Do drop the video a like if you have enjoyed and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any more. Southampton tomorrow and F1 after that. We're getting into quite a pattern now, aren't we? Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you next time.